ladies and gentlemen. Let me welcome you at this afternoon session of our today's conference. And we will have a very nice title of Europe at Heart, but we will be really dealing with the strong topic of economics and region acceleration of fintech for our, not only for our region, but also for the voice of our region in the whole Europe. We have quite a strong collection of speakers for our panel, but let me please, for the start, ask two gentlemen for short presentation. The very first one will be Mr. Effendi Zulkifly from Malaysia. He's a Chief Development Officer of Dinafront Systems, and I think he will provide us with a very inspiring information about the way the fintech ecosystem is developing in Malaysia, but also as a part of some public initiative. So, Effendi, if you can hear us. Excellent. Floor is yours. Welcome in our conference and give us interesting information.
Thank you to everyone. Is it clear, my voice? Can you listen to me? Yes. I'm far from you guys. Is it clear, my voice? Yes. All right, thank you. May I know, is it the organizer will control my slide? Sorry? My slide will be...
Now we can see you.
Yes. All right, thank you to everyone. May I share my slide to the organizer?
Yeah, of course. You can. Okay, we will share it.
Yeah, please share, and then I will just follow my instruction when I giving my my keynote, and you can move with my cue. Yeah. All right. Okay. Good afternoon and good evening to everyone in Europe and Asian. My time in Malaysia now actually is 9 p.m. It's quite evening, while in Slovakia, Bratislava, now actually it's around, I think it's around 3 p.m. still afternoon. My name is Effendi Zulkifly, and I am the Chief Development Officer at Dinafront System, a company at the forefront of fintech innovation in Malaysia and Asia. I am also proud to be the co-founder of Crypto Valley Malaysia, the first crypto valley in Asia and Asian, established in 2018 in Cyberjaya, the Silicon Valley of Malaysia. So what I'm doing at Dinafront System, we are driving forward with innovate projects like Dolphins AI and Claim AI, something like ChatGPT. We build our own LLM, but focusing on insurtech industry. So we leveraging cutting edge technologies like artificial intelligence and blockchain to revolutionize how business and individuals interact with financial system. So we have smart contract underlying with our LLM system for Dolphins AI. We call as Dolphins AI. Some sort like same like ChatGPT, but focusing on insurance industries. And our goal is simple: to ensure that fintech becomes the catalyst for economic inclusion, innovation, and collaboration, not just in Malaysia, but across the global financial landscape. So meanwhile, in Crypto Valley Malaysia, isn't just a hub for blockchain innovation, it's a thriving ecosystem that connects hundreds of tech companies. So for the past 4 years, we organized the World Block Tech Forum, modeled after the World Economic Forum, as a global platform for blockchain and emerging technologies. In partnership with the Malaysian government, we've also played a pivotal role in creating the regulatory framework for digital asset development, helping to position Malaysia as a leader in this space. And I would like to share thank you and very excited the most opportunity to bridge two incredible regions, Europe and Asian, using fintech as the engine for growth and shared success. Together, we can transform financial systems and shape a future where technology breaks down barriers and fosters collaboration between continents, Asian and Europe. So, please share my next slide.
Can you share it,
Yeah.
please?
Okay.
Because
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay. I need to share. All right. All right.
Well, then you can switch the slides, it will be easier.
All right. Can. All right. Okay. All right. So there are huge contents actually. I will share my slide to the organizer, then you can get my slides. We will talk about the fintech revolution in Europe. We talk about the leading fintech hub in Europe and how this kind of fintech revolution can shape the collaboration between us. And I will share a successful case of cross-continental collaboration and how we can do some sort of collaboration and the benefits of collaboration. And when we talk about bridging the continents, fintech as a catalyst for Europe future and Asia role in innovation. So we will talk about the fintech investment in Europe in 2023, already 60 billion. And the fintech also growth rates in Singapore is going higher every year. And we can do a lot of cross regional opportunities on collaboration. And of course, we have to do some sort of future projections. And objective of today presentation, I would like to talk about a little bit view on fintech in Europe from my research and my perspective by having the research by big four companies reports. And we want to show to you guys on Asian's growth, on the fintech adoption in Asian, and also a little bit on the most important thing on collaboration opportunities. And also, the fintech revolution in Europe, because of the regulatory initiatives are very strong and powerful with PSD2 and GDPR are key drivers of fintech innovation. And in 2023, fintech investment in Europe reached 60 billion, driven by sectors like digital banking, blockchain, and AI. And of course, the leading countries in UK, Germany, France, and Stockholm is the leading in the region, in the Europe. And London basically specialized in the digital banking, while Berlin more on blockchain technology, while Paris more on the financial services innovation with a strong regulatory support for fintech growth, while Stockholm, Sweden, more on the mobile payments technology. And the Europe, just I mentioned just now, because of the PSD2 directives very clear, opens banking data to third party, increase competition in digital payments with strong GDPR regulations, and most of the industry supports AI, blockchain, and 5G. And Europeans have a very skilled talent pool because most of the top universities and tech talent are from Europe. How about Asian, everyone? So we want to talk about emerging as a fintech powerhouse. Asian fintech sector grew by 70% in 2023 and projected by this year rate for 85%, and the next year will be 92%. And last year the digital payments involved transaction almost more than 350 billion. In Malaysia, our country itself, with population of around 30 million population in Malaysia, the transaction for cryptocurrencies that legalized by the government almost achieved more than 1 billion USD only on the cryptocurrencies, where most of the transaction legalized and registered and the data shared with the government, not consider illegal or non-regulated means that more than 1 billion actually in Malaysia only. Yeah, Asian population is more than 680 million population. It's a very huge opportunity. And the leading fintech sectors in Asia, more on digital payments, is a rapid adoption across Asia. The key players like GrabPay, actually from Malaysia, now they changed the HQ to Singapore. We have GoPay, the largest digital payment in Indonesia, and also peer-to-peer lending as a growing alternative to traditional banking. Platforms like funding societies and Modalku. Modalku in Bahasa Malaysia, in Malaysia language, means my capital, leading the way and expected to reach 50 billion by 2035. And of course, I'm one of the leading blockchain architect in Malaysia. We see a lot of increasing use in financial services with the blockchain technology as a key, is a pivotal technology in the financial services. Projects like VeChain, Omisego from Thailand revolutionize the cross-border transaction. And the bridging to continents, we need to compare first Europe and Asian. Europe investment, the size of the share market in Europe 2023, 60 billion, while Asian investment just 8.5 billion. This is the investment size in Asia for 2023. And of course, higher in Europe adoption, 65%, while Asian more on 47%. So means that a lot of potential green area, fresh market for all of you to explore, to see, to get the opportunities for the Asian market. Welcome to Asian. And we want to unlocking collaboration opportunities on the cross-border payments, streamlining cross-border transaction where blockchain for remittance. We can do a lot of solution for unbanked, what they call unbanking society, something like refugees, right? They don't have account bank, but they need to work, they need to do some sort of transaction. And of course, we need to work with government on regulatory harmonization. Basically, work with government means that we work with the people. Pay tax means that profit put to the people. That's my personal perspective, yeah. And I would like to share a successful case of functional cross-continental collaborations. So PwC, KPMG, a lot, they do it a lot of, they invested a lot, more than over 250 million in blockchain and fintech innovation worldwide. With 15 projects, Deloitte and EY have collectively overseen 15 collaborative fintech projects, introduced AI-driven financial solution, and also market penetration is now more than 35% on this kind of industry and fintech. And the future of fintech, the growth projection for Europe and Asian. Europe fintech growth projections for the compound annual growth rates, fintech market is expected to grow at 11.2% from 2024 to 2030. This is sourced from Statista Fintech report. So the key driver actually is because of the AI, open banking, frameworks like PSD2 and GDPR. We from Asian need to learn from people from Asia, from you guys, on this kind of a fintech growth projection. And Asian fintech growth projection is on 60.2% between 2024 to 2030. And the key trends on AI, robot advisory, fraud detection, reducing costs on improving financial security. And of course, the potential market size of the fintech sector will be achieved 2010 billion by 2010. And of course, there are strengths, weakness on this thing, on regulatory challenges. We need to share on the opportunities on collaboration. And of course, the market competition intensification is quite tough, but we need to go to the niche and do some sort of blue ocean strategy on the key collaboration. And I would like to address market competition. So it's between market analysis for Europe and Asian. So we need to do the conducting through market research. And we want to do some sort identifying niche opportunities, right? Certain area that niche that can be part of the collaborative approach between markets on fintech in two regions. And these are future trends in fintech, AI, blockchain, and personalization, where AI, blockchain will be the pivotal technology in the fintech world. And of course, we like to promoting financial inclusion. I mentioned just now, they are bridging gaps. You can see in Europe and Asian, right? The financial inclusion is projected to rise from 65% to 70% in Asian, while in Europe, 85% to 88% by this year. And we would like to go for sustainable growth strategies where we need to promote green financing initiative, encouraging responsible lending policies, support on renewable energy projects where Europe have a very powerful, impactful, and leading in this kind of projects. And the benefits of collaborations, we want to go for the economic growth, improve financial services, regulatory environment, and of course, I would like to mention that at the end of my my slide, I would like to share that we need to do a lot of research, a market segmentation, and this is very important for us to do this kind of this kind of collaboration. And I would like to end my keynote to ensure I look forward to hearing your thoughts and engaging in this discussion as we stand at the crossroads of technological innovation. The future of fintech holds unlimited potential. Europe and Asian have the opportunity to not only grow individually, but to lead together. This is not just about financial transaction. It is about transforming economies, bridging gaps, and empowering people. The step we take today is fostering innovation, and collaboration will define the financial landscape for decades to come. Together, we can shape a future where technology is the enabler of progress and where borders become bridges, not barriers. Let's continue pushing boundaries, sparking innovation, and most importantly, building a world where financial technology brings us all closer together. Thank you. I look forward to collaborating with you on this exciting journey. That's all from me. And please, if you have any, is it open to question? And please, this is my contact information for inquiries. Please welcome to Malaysia. I was informed by David, our president, that the delegates from Slovakia will visit our country, Malaysia. Next year, our country will be the chairman of ASEAN. 2025 is the best year for you guys to come to Malaysia to see the opportunities on collaboration, because companies like AWS, IBM, Microsoft, NVIDIA, they are putting a huge investment in Malaysia on data center and AI development. As a chairman of ASEAN for the next year, for another 5 years, leading by our Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, we will have a future powerful, impactful collaboration between two regions, ASEAN and Europe. That's all. Thank you from me. Over to you back, the MC.
Thank you very much. Effendi, thank you very much for the inspiring information and also very, very nice invitation, which is really, really impressing to us. And what I can really relate is not only sharing the ambitions and opportunities through the market growth, but also our need not to let regulation transform from threat to weakness. So also partly for facing this issue, last year at the FinWeeks talks, the manifesto and the idea of Fintech Valley Europe was raised, and we were really happy that 11 countries joined this initiative, and it's nice to know that now, year after, there are specific initiatives, and which is more important, even next steps to be made to really support the opportunities for the market. So now let me ask Branislav Slobodník, as the representative of FINAS, the Slovak Fintech Association, as a host of this conference, to give us a brief information about Fintech Valley, its first steps, but most importantly, the coming steps for the future.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm very glad that I'm honored that I can be here to present you one of the, I think, the most important idea in the fintech in Europe. Let me introduce myself. My name is Branislav Slobodník. I am economist, lawyer, and also I'm PhD candidate in the University of Economics in Bratislava. And in my research, I'm dedicated to fintech and insurance problematic. So, and especially on the Europe. Okay. In reference to Europe, we are facing same problem in Europe. We don't have a developed ecosystem yet, and we are already getting strong regulatory reins. What can we do together? What can CE fintechs offer to the world? This is the main question, what we can do in this topic. And why? You know that the first problem in CE fintech is not that we are not having investors. The problem is the one point, and this is visibility. We have a big problem with visibility because the other markets cannot see us. So we have insufficient global visibility, so there is a place for branding. We have a weak voice in regulatory matters, so we need a bigger representation. And what is the third problem? We cannot market our solution in the world. So we need better presentation and market. But what is our response on those problems? What we are doing now in Europe? The third question, how can we evaluate fintech to become a priority for the EU when it currently isn't one? Let's be honest. CE is an undervalued, underappreciated region in EU. We don't have a voice towards Western Europe. We need to accelerate and support for the future global startups in CE. We need to be a stronger voice in regulatory matters and in the future regulation, because we need that Brussels has to hear our voice also. We need to unify CE region stands with Brussels. And the main point is that we have to focus on our region development. Who we are, this question. We are Fintech Association or in CE. We are 8 members from Hungary, Poland, Slovakia, Romania, Austria, Bulgaria, Moldova, and Ukraine. When we count the citizens of those states, it's maybe 170 million of people, and it's a quarter of the Europe, so the market is very big. As of Fintech Europe, what we have achieved? That's the question. We initiated to set up Fintech Valley. We signed a manifest. We reported to media, and we reached the government, mainly the Ministry of Finance and National Bank. And what else we achieved? We reached the potential partner to be with us with that. But the question is, what we are going to do in future? So, the main point, what we are going to do in future is to create a digital map of implemented solution where the comprehensive report will be displayed. Then on this analysis, we are going to create FinTech's leader ranking, what we offer to the world, what is here in Central Europe. And on behalf of this, we are going to make a FinTech award competition that we know who are the innovators in this region. What are our coming steps? So, firstly, we have to make a consensus. In 40 days, we will join a call where we will make an agreement on the objective. We design organizational structure and our relationship. We will make an agreement on the voting rights and decision making. We will establish a legal form, and hopefully our Polish friends will help us in this in November in Poland to establish the European Economic Interest grouping. And then maybe in January or maybe in November, we can distribute the roles and the task of our activities. So we are planning to map a CE FinTech ecosystem. We want to do visual roadmap, what is across the region in a CE, what is there. We want to also measure how is the current situation on the FinTech ecosystems in the CE. Then we want to make an annual activity, then we will meet every year in different CE countries. And we want to make up a common name to exploit foreign markets, for example, in Singapore. What is really important for our MAP activity is that we want to launch an acceleration program, and the main point is that we want to be a voice shaping and reviewing legislation. But the main point is to create a technology sandbox. And in the National Bank of Slovakia, there's a regulatory sandbox, and it's very missing in CE countries. And then the cooperation with university will be a good approach to develop our activities. Then what is our main focus is new directive FIDA. Because when we are going to the history, PS2 was the directive which helped FinTech company. This directive FIDA will also help companies, and we now have a chance to fight, or not just fight, but to say what we are thinking about that, and we can do it together. So we can shape a regulation. We also have a support from external partners, from abroad, not from CE, from Malaysia, Philippines, and Israel. We don't have to forget about that. So we have a support from abroad. And you see now empty slide. And my question is, this is the market size of Fintech Valley Europe. We don't see how it will be long, how it will be big. But the question is, will you also join this journey to bigger this market size of Fintech Europe Valley? And that's everything from my side. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Love interesting information and also kind of announcement and thrilling plans. Now, as a For another discussion, we will see. I think there are a few points to be discussed, and I think this is the first way how we can demonstrate, as every fintech conference, and this is nice that this is organized with the support of our Ministry of Finance, of a national bank, and the company Visa, and all the valued partners. But now it's even more difficult. It's difficult, but it's also very important to demonstrate the power. So probably this is a moment when to show you who is representing. So now let me please invite for the stage representatives of the fintech ecosystems and try to discuss what can be the next steps, which were shown by Braňo, but then maybe move to reality. So let me please invite Mr. Ondřej Mikulčík, who is the ambassador of the Czech Fintech Association. Mr. Zoltán Ács, who is the innovation lead from MBH Bank from Hungary. Growing power, our Polish guest, Mr. Piotr Brzezinski, who is a co-founder and vice president of Fintech Poland. Enjoy. Representing Slovak Fintech Association and the ecosystem, and more important, also the regulation, Martin Peter, who is head of banking department of Ministry of Finance, Slovakia. And as we really try to not only have countries from the Central and Eastern Europe, but also from the wider region, so let me also welcome, and this is a very special applause needed, Rostislav Duke from Ukraine. He is joining us online because why I ask for the big applause, he unfortunately cannot join us. And Stefan Nistor from Moldova, who is founder and coordinator of Fintech in Moldova, who is also joining us online. So, gentlemen, I think we have few questions, and at this moment, this is also open for you, the auditorium, to join through Slido. If you have any further questions and you don't think I ask enough, just ask and use the Slido. I will see it and ask in your name. But at this moment, Braňo has mentioned few issues, and I think the first thing will be just your brief reaction. What do you see as the strongest opportunities and also the ways to face as growing ecosystems in Central Europe? Maybe what's important for you in your countries, but what is also important in the countries in our region? We may try maybe from you.
Okay, so an important topic that Braňo has raised, I think, is the visibility. For example, we in the Czech Fintech Association did a survey. We asked our members who wants to expand to another countries, and about 70% or even more of them said yes, we want to expand. But then we often organize like common journeys to conferences like Money 2020, Web Summit Lisbon, or we have a Czech-Irish Fintech Forum. And our fintechs don't want to go there. They sometimes want to just play on the local field. Maybe sometimes they go to Slovakia, which is kind of logical because we have like very similar language. But in terms of visibility among the European region, they don't do that much. And I think this initiative we should really join and say that there are interesting fintechs bringing innovations to the market, not only in the UK or Germany, but also in our countries. So that's one topic, I think.
Thank you very much. Zoltán, what maybe is your topic?
Yeah, we have many challenges, and we are small, alone, and we are not interconnected enough. And it's a problem. I'm the managing director of MBH Fintech Lab, which is a fintech startup incubator. We have invested in almost 40 startups so far. And we are looking for investment opportunities. And of course, it would be great if we can select good targets from the neighboring countries as well. Of course, we will, but I don't know the necessary knowledge about the companies in Slovakia or in Czech Republic or any other neighboring countries. We have to visit each other's capitals a bit more frequently, and of course, visibility, as you mentioned, it's also very important. We'll be in Singapore next month, and we will organize a business forum together with Lithuania, because alone Hungary, I will take 5 Hungarian fintech companies with myself, and Lithuania another 5 and 10 companies. It's big enough, and together with Chadab, with the chairman of the Singapore Fintech Association, with the help of them, we can organize something together. But alone, it's quite impossible, because these are very crowded spaces. In the United Kingdom, in Singapore, in the United States, alone, such a small country, we have self-confidence, but we are realistic, and together we have more opportunities, finance-wise. So we have more money together. We can cover the costs of the traveling and booths and every other possible costs, and we are simply more attractive for in the market like Dubai or Singapore and any other big hubs. So it's important to join our forces.
Thank you very much. Now we will move to our online guests. Rostislav, probably this is the strongest moment, because there is nothing more we would like to than having you here visiting us, as Zoltán said. But what are maybe the topics you are dealing with your country, except for the most horrible thing you are dealing with? And we all hope that this will be the last thing to be solved before going to normal life. But what about the fintech market in your country? What are the issues and topics now?
Hi, everybody. You have my picture. Okay, great. So, yes, due to the war situation, I think, first of all, topics that we have, and as we speak with colleagues around the EU, this is all things around AML and KYC. So it start to be even more important due to situation with Russian terror that happen in EU. So we should, block any opportunity to support this Russian military and aggression in all industries, and fintech not could stay in the separate line. So this is like first case. Second one, we see enormous growth of AI technology and its implementation in different industry, and I think here is a amazing opportunity for fintechs to implement this technology to their products and help with this technology do banking and financial processes more efficient. And third one is also a little bit specific Ukrainian things, but it's touched the whole Europe, all our friends that support us in these days. So, and just I want to thank you, all your countries that support us in these days, having our migrants and supporting with this army. So thank you very much. And my thoughts is next one. So after the war, when we will have the victory under these terrorists, we will have such a big thing that we call Rebuild Ukraine. And we understand it's not about Ukrainian company, because the estimated value of Rebuild Ukraine plans is around 350 billion of euros. So it means that Ukraine will never can do this projects by their own. So it means that we will need support of your company participate in this Rebuild Ukraine. And here for fintech, we see huge opportunities. So We as FinTech Association in Ukraine will support all your members that would like to participate in this big investment project, doing something for rebuilding Ukraine after the war. So I think make this collaboration stronger, even in this like online way, will bring some potential business for your members, for your ecosystem partners after the war.
Thank you very much. And I think at this moment we can at least give you a big applause to greet. And I hope it's at least what we can. And we see our strength quite growing. But Piotr, well, I think your contribution can also be quite strong.
Thank you so much. I think it's a very general question, and the topic is so complex with different layers. So the beginning from the strategic approach. So when you compare the approach of our countries to support financial innovation from the perspective of regulatory supervision approach, from the state units that support growth of this part of economy, there's a huge space for improvement, for sure. When we compare with different countries, how they support this part of the economy as a competitive future part of our next generation financial services providers, it shows that there is a huge lack when we focus on our, in Poland, for example, approach and how what kind of a support fintechs receive. So this is the one layer, but not everything is on the side of the state. There's a lot of space for improvement also in cooperation between market players. So, of course, we compete as a countries. We also compete for the capital investments from, for example, from abroad, for capital from US or different countries. But there are fields for cooperation. For example, very particular example we can drive from the banking sector in Poland. There are a lot of competition between market players, but there are areas that they do not compete, they cooperate. For example, what Rostisław said, AML. So we can cooperate in the fields of building and standards, technology standards. Like example, FIDA regulation is coming. This is an opportunity to create a common standard which will strengthen the whole area, whole countries in the Western Europe to cooperate and exchange data more efficient than Western Europe. It's on our approach if we can create a framework for this kind of cooperation. And of course, there's a space for enhancing companies to go abroad, show the path, how to build a presence abroad, support them, and build awareness that the process, it's not very fast. So when we cooperate with companies from Poland, that they grew enough and they are strong enough to go abroad, at first we focus on how long they can invest in going abroad. It's not a one deal opportunity that you go on the event like Money 2020 and you sign the contract there. It's a building up our visibility and presence abroad and being recognizable as a valued partner, which is focused on being present on the market and will not disappear in one moment after the failure of one contract or one negotiation. So, of course, we do not have a legacy like Great Britain of going abroad, but still there's a chance build on our very unique skills, especially in IT sector, we are in this region. The strength of the region is built on the advance of our technology. So we can use this of going abroad commonly or separately, but I think the cooperation is the biggest weapon that we can compete with the countries from the Western Europe. Of course, they are not our enemies, but in normal way, we just compete as an economy. And we need to grow faster to avoid drifting in the future fields on European level. So we can also join our forces together to show our position in different regulations. So for example, of course, each country is too small to force the legislative approach, but if there is a possibility to cooperate and join the forces in common approach to the regulation, for example, FIDA is a perfect example, or PSD3, PSR, maybe it's too late a little bit, but we've got digital euro regulation that was discussed today in the morning. So there are a lot of regulations that we can join the forces, discuss together which approach is the best, and then push it in common way. It will be the best, I guess.
Thank you very much for a very interesting point. Now I ask Stefan, what are maybe now the greatest topics in Moldova in the fintech system development?
Hello, I'm not sure if you can hear me. Okay, I can see myself. Thank you for the invitation, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person this time, but I hope I can be there in person next year. So in Moldova, at this point, we're kind of catching up a little bit with the EU. So as you know, we are not part of the European Union yet, but basically 2 days ago, we had our referendum of joining the EU. So the referendum passed, fortunately. And now we are on the path to joining you guys in the EU, and this has implications, obviously, in the financial sector and the fintech sector as well. So in terms of regulatory things, we have the Open Banking Directive, which is in motion now by the National Bank, and it's supposed to be in full effect in February 2025. And it's based on your PSD2 directive. So in this sense, we kind of see a way to collaborate and to learn from the rest of the European Union through the things that you've been doing to implement the open banking across countries. And to see the things that we maybe should avoid, some of the things that we should take into account into implementing open banking across-wide country. Other things regarding the EU, we are waiting to join the SEPA network. So this will enhance and it will make much easier the transactions between the European countries and Moldova. So as you can see, we're having some catch-up kind of things to fully integrate with the European Union, and not just as a country, but also as a financial sector. Another thing that happened recently, we launched our instant payment system, launched by the National Bank, which is now fully functional and permits transactions between individuals and businesses. And we expect that MIA, which is how it's called, our instant payment system, will enhance a lot the financial inclusion at all levels, at the SME level, also at the individual level, and it will make much easier and will give more options for people to transact and also to develop some solutions around this system. So these are the big topics now. As I said, we are very close to. No, we're not close, of course, but we have really decided to join you guys in the EU. So a lot of the decisions, regulatory decisions, business decisions, will be taken around this subject. I also have to say, Rostislav mentioned earlier about Rebuild Ukraine. We want to be very much involved in that, as our country is very proximate to we are right at the Ukraine's border. I think we are very well positioned in order to assist and to be involved in the rebuilding of Ukraine. And also we see ourselves as a bridge between East and West. So we are at the edge of the EU, and I see Moldova as one of the biggest opportunities that Moldova has is to become this bridge of collaboration between the Western ecosystems with the Eastern ecosystems.
Thank you very much. And I think this is great. Like, we not only try to cooperate within the existing members of EU, but also the coming ones. So excellent. I think great way. Martin, you are closing the opening round, but your position is quite specific because you are somewhere between, because you're representing the ecosystem, but also the local authority to localize the Central European legislation or regulation. How do you see the position of ministry as a creator of local competitiveness for Slovakia, but also part of the regional ecosystem for competition?
Yeah, I would say that cooperation is always good, you know, and especially in our region here, like historically, okay, we had communism and things like that, not too many cooperation there. But before, you know, we were part of a very dynamic region where people from Poland were doing business in Hungary, Slovakia, in Austro-Hungarian Kingdom, in Czech Republic. Yeah, so it was a big part, you know, business, education. People were traveling, and there were not that many like language barriers. And I think we are getting back to that, you know. I think after the communism fell, there was a period where all of our states, we needed to build our self-confidence in a business way, in a political way, and now also our businesses are strong, as was mentioned here, and they are now trying to look behind the border, you know, behind their own economies, and I think it's the best idea to start here, and we four, like mentally, socially, we are very close, and also the mentality, like how to say it. I've heard today the representative of your embassy said that Polish people are very open to try new technologies. Yeah, that's the same situation here in Slovakia. I think Czech Republic, Hungary, the same. Yeah, so people are eager, you know, to try new things. It's a very good opportunity and very good situation for fintechs to come with new solutions. And so the cooperation is good. I think it's the right time to start something like that. It will be competition, but you can learn from the competition, definitely. And to have a stronger voice in Europe, like definitely, we have from the point of view of regulator, we had the same experience, like many experiences behind us that. Because sometimes you hear an argument that Slovakia is too small, you know, in Europe nobody's listening to you, and you cannot. You only need to listen what they say. Oh, it doesn't work like that. And from the regulatory point of view, we have experience, for example, with MiCA, markets and crypto assets, where we joined forces based on cooperation of our Slovak blockchain community. They came to us, we discussed with other member states, okay, we have a problem with DeFi and regulation of decentralized tokens, and we found Polish friends, Czech Republic Ministry, Benelux, and we created a coalition that was able to change the legislation. So it works from the regulatory point of view. Okay, not every time, but we have more or less similar economies, and I think it will be great if also our entrepreneurs will join, and they will try to have like common voice in regulation, and it also can help develop the business. Yeah, if a Slovak solution can be tested in Poland, Czech solution tested in Hungary or the whole region. So I think, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Thank you very much. Few of you mentioned the Financial Data Access Directive as the coming issue, which is probably quite strong. I think that this part of legislation will have its place in the agenda of FinWeek in the coming panels, but maybe my question is a little different. How do you see, how can the united voice of these countries in this approach can somehow show even the legislation creation on the European level, that maybe even European legislation or regulation can be part of our competitiveness against the other large markets, including USA, including some Asian countries, as we can really see what FND showed us, that they are really not waiting for the ideas. They are really developing. How you can see this may work? Maybe the demonstration that, okay, for some new technologies, maybe these countries of our region are some kind of a lab, or possibly the sandbox for technologies, but also for regulation, it's worth trying to find the common way, not only to somehow close it down and wait for others to perform, but to show our own solutions. What do you see? Okay, Piotr.
Okay, I will start and give a voice forward. So from my perspective, the most important is to learn how we can cooperate in an everyday manner. So not only about big ideas, but giving this opportunity. I know it's a challenge. It's a question of resources. Always there is a lack of resources. Even on the fields of the public field, there is a lack of resources. When we compare, for example, the forces that are used by different countries in the process of regulatory analysis from the perspective of the new papers coming from European Commission. For example, Germany has 40 experts analyzing this immediately. So it's uncomparable from the perspective. In Poland, there are 3 people dedicated to the same task. So when you compare the advantage that can be achieved by the different countries, it's uncomparable, but we can cooperate together, and then the forces are similar. So this is one thing. Another is FIDA. Maybe that's perfect example of the new opportunity of transferring the economy based on the financial aspects, on the money, to switch the economy to the data and to push it more efficient. So in Poland, we've got the experience based on Polish API, the standard for open banking solution. And right now we are working with over 60 market participants on the technology approach and the scheme for FIDA, how to build it more efficient, more to be better understanding this, how it can deliver for the economy, the value, bring from the data from different market players. So, and we enhance our friends from the region to join this force to work together, even if the result will be not a common standard, just to learn from each other, the experience from what we learn based on open banking solution, and how we can drive this experience into the new world of sharing data. So this is the example how we can cooperate every day. We can just sit and work together in task force dedicated. For example, in Poland, the leader of the stream that works together with us is a Visa. So it's a global market player that shows the experience from different countries, from different regions around the world. And we think the whole market benefits from this. So this is the example. Another example is to exchange the data for the perspective of anti-fraud. In Poland, we've got a challenge in this field because a lot of people coming in Poland, moving right now with different approach to KYC in different market players. So we are working on the approach how to exchange the data cross-sector, not only based in the banking sector and payment sector, just exchange the data in cross-sector. Why cannot we discuss the approach to exchange the data between the countries and make it more efficient and more bulletproof for the fraudsters? So those are, for example, those topics that are not in the field of competition, but fully in cooperation.
I really agree because I can really relate to the approach, like what was also shown by Branislav, like start with small, really homeworks for I don't know what he said, for in 2 weeks meet in Warsaw and create all the small steps for organizational structure and start with big ideas, including these projects, because then it can be demonstrated. Okay, other ideas?
Yeah, as for FIDA, European Union is a regulator empire and always likes to create business opportunities through regulation. And it's a very interesting experiment in the global competition, and it can be successful. It depends on us. And as for cooperation, we need cooperation at many levels. And the first one, there will be a regulation tsunami in the coming years until 2030. And the IT teams in banks will be very, very occupied by meeting the criteria of the new regulations. And they have to collaborate with fintechs. It's necessary. Without the ability to cooperate with them, they cannot survive. And it's an ability, it's an organizational thing, because a bank usually very hierarchical organization. It's a dangerous, factory with strict rules, and making experiments, collaborating with small, strange companies. It's very strange for them, for a compliance officer, for cybersecurity, legal, and so on, so other colleagues. So that's why I say it's an ability from the bank side to cooperate with the small fintech companies, and every bank has to build this capacity, and it's important. So this is only one way, collaborating with banks, and the second is collaborating with each other and with each other banks in the region, because the economy is more or less the same size and development rate, and I always notice that we are struggling with the same problems and same challenges. So we just have to share our best practices. And my third comment in this topic is we just have to start. We don't have to waste time for planning for years. Just have to start, just have to organize a business forum in foreign countries, and I can write Davi and for other colleagues, and just please share this information with your members, and we can collaborate, and we can go together to other trade shows, and that's all. We just have to start.
Thank you very much, Andrei.
I think your expression of regulatory tsunami was pretty accurate. We've got DORA or even MiCA and other regulations, and I hear from a lot of companies in our region that they are just overwhelmed. They don't know what to do sometimes, and they have gigantic bills from law companies. So that's definitely a problem. And we could partially solve this problem through talking the regulations and discussing the implementation points together in advance, because sometimes when the regulation is already effective. We can't change many things, but yeah, I agree. Let's make some conference or some roundtable, and we should discuss what's like the common topics that our fintechs and companies are struggling with, and maybe let's push those topics to be discussed on the European level. And once they are articulated via our common voice, not just as like many smaller countries, we will be heard. And regarding DORA, I'm a bit skeptical because, for example, with PSD2, banks implemented it the way, at least in the Czech Republic, banks implemented this regulation just to be compliant. But from what I've heard, it's very hard to build something upon the open APIs because they have problems with tokens expiring too often, and there are other technical problems. So maybe discussing common technical standards and such topics could be also a way to not even making it usable in our local market, but making it interoperable between markets. So once there is a common technical standard, it should be pretty easy for companies to extend their solution to banks abroad and other companies.
Thank you very much. Rostislav and Stefan, you may only look forward to applying all these regulation rules, but are there any ideas of maybe how to affect the process of creating environment, not only to regulate or tie down, but also develop business?
So, if I can start, we're looking very careful and very enthusiastic to all EU regulations that already exist on the table, and some regulation like MiCA that testing on the European market. So our thoughts not wait until we finalize our, I don't know how to call it, invitation or entrance the EU Union. So I think this is our strategy as a country, and we will do everything to do this. But we as fintech sector don't want to wait. So we lobbying changes Ukrainian legislation that it will fit the EU legislation. So this is first. We finish implementation PSD2 in Ukraine in our payment law and open banking. So it starts through the August next year. And I think ideas that Piotr mentioned that we need to think more about this open banking, that opportunity give to everybody. And we deeply look to this technology, this regulation, and we also observe now FIDA and other regulations that testing in the EU just to understand how we will need to change the local legislations that we will fit this. So we try to be very close to this regulation and its implementation.
Thank you very much. Stefan, any ideas?
Yeah, well, we are a long way from that. So what can I tell you? We are still waiting to see how the version of the PSD2 which is implemented now will go, and how everybody from the financial sector will manage to implement it. I have to be a little bit skeptical in the terms of speed. So things take a while. So we'll see how the FICA is implemented in the EU by the terms that they're saying is 2027. But the time is very difficult to predict how the financial market and in general also the political market, the political sector will be in Moldova. But now we just want to focus on the things that are at hand. It's very important that the current directives are well implemented and done well. And after that, we can see how the developments in the EU can be implemented the best way in Moldova. I have to say that although we are lagging behind, we are in the fortunate position to see how things are developing in the EU countries, and we have the opportunity not to step on the same, I don't know, holes and to not make the same mistakes as you guys sometimes do. So from that perspective, we are kind of in a better position. So we'll observe, we'll see how it goes, and then I think the market in Moldova will slowly but surely get behind.
Thank you very much. Okay, enough of regulation. I think this is very important, but let's see something more optimistic and more developing. Martin, you as a regulator, what you see in the field of technical progress, what you see as the most interesting topic for development of a fintech market or fintech environment, as not only as a regulator but mostly as a member of the ecosystem, because we are talking about AI, we are talking about other technological progress, visible effects. But what will be the largest opportunity from your point of view?
I think AI, definitely. But I wanted to come back to regulation very shortly. I'm from the ministry. Now,
expected that.
One good thing is that we now have very harmonized regulation. Yeah, we have regulations. Yeah, Mika, DORA, and things like that. So the regulation is the same in every member state. So you do not need to compete, you know, and also the rules are more homogeneous. So it's even better to start cooperate, and it will be easier. Yeah. So I wanted to come back to why I think it's a good idea. AI, definitely. There are challenges. There will be regulatory challenges, but also business challenges. Definitely, it can be used to make processes more efficient. Big data mining, more not up to date, but to the point entries, and also the analysis of client. So you can use it in many ways. However, from my point of view, it will be very interesting to see the challenges that can occur, the misuse of AI, and we see it. You know, deepfake videos, they are used hugely, and it can be maybe also for a cooperation of entrepreneurs to educate people, to your customers. It's a very good marketing tool, and to make something that V4 or Central Europe stands together, educates people, because it's very important. We have a part of the society that is not is excluded from the financial market, and here fintech can help, and also can bring them the services, but also bring them the knowledge to educate it in a bit. So that's the opportunity, and there are also challenges. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes, Piotr.
If I may refer to the regulation topics, of course we've got a common legal framework from the perspective of regulations, but the legal framework, it's not only the regulation. We see the trends that the European Commission differs from directives to regulations to make it more common, but still the legal framework is built also on the supervision financial authority practice, and it differs from different countries. So there's also a lot of space for a common approach and make the markets more common, more smooth for the fintechs. And also from the financial intelligence units, approach to money laundering and AML requirements are also different in different countries. So there's a space for cooperation between market players, but also from the perspective of the regulatory aspects. So how to make it more common, that one KYC process in the perfect situation will be recognizable abroad in different country in the region. That's the perfect solution that we should focus for this kind of opportunities in the future.
Yes. I planned my next question for you as an expert panel, another question or another topic which was raised by Branislav, and it was the idea of technology sandbox, but this is maybe that good that we can combine that. Do you think that besides the trying the new technologies and application of the solutions based on the coming technologies, including AI, as one of the platforms of cooperations in the region, and then probably data sharing as the biggest way of or field for cooperation. Do you think that also ways how to educate people before they need to be limited by regulation is a way how to make you ambassadors of the new technology and also the new solutions in fintech before letting people face threats of the misuse of the or abusing of the technologies? Will there be a ways? Because there is always a fear beside the hope. But now, including all those ways how to use the new technologies, the fear can be much faster than the hope or any positive effects. Is it the way how maybe use cooperations to be faster in this race?
Your question contains many smaller questions, so it's a complex question. As for AI, I fully agree with you. Digital finance is essential part of every possible sectors, and AI is an essential part of digital finance. And we recently organized a very good meetup. The topic was AI in fintech, and my biggest takeaway was we all have the necessary technology the disruptive technology to restructuring everything in digital finance. But it depends on the people and our ability to be a bit more adaptive and our pace. So if we are not comfortable with new technologies, if we don't have the necessary skill set, and if we are full of fears, we can be adaptive, and it slows the innovation and slows the digital transformation in finance and in every sectors, of course. So the key point is education. So we have to educate people, we have to educate users, and it's the responsibility of the regulators, the banks, the fintechs, and universities, and actually everybody who is involved in this story. So, and this is a topic in which we have to collaborate again. Because it's, and as for the sandbox, it would be extremely useful. We have a sandbox in Hungary provided by the Central Bank of Hungary, but if we could set up a sandbox together in 4, 5, 6 countries, it will be very useful for our fintechs because they could scale up their businesses in a much more faster way. So it would be useful, and we should cooperate in this thing.
Try take a microphone.
It will also help what Peter mentioned, that the secondary legislation or the decisions of the supervisors differ across our countries. Yeah, and sandbox will help that. Yeah, I think it's a good idea, and I will discuss it also with my colleagues from the other ministries, because we had such a discussion, but it was only, good idea, huh? Yeah, and but I think when there will be also pressure from your side a bit, then it can be feasible. Yeah.
I'm waiting for Andre because I've got a different point of view a little bit, but I'm waiting for.
Okay, so many topics have been discussed, so maybe I will go one by one. The regulatory sandbox, we still don't have one, although we've been striving to create one for a couple of years, but it's a long way to go. And the other topic was about AI and education and its regulation. Yes, I definitely agree with you that AI is completely changing the game in fintech. We will probably see hyper-personalization of the services. Users will have services crafted to their needs in their apps. They will have their personal bankers in their mobile phones, not an actual person. An AI avatar. So that will definitely change the game. And also I'm a software developer, so I think development will get a lot cheaper. I've been experimenting with Copilot and ChatGPT for coding, and it can definitely replace junior developers. So I think software companies and tech departments will begin shrinking, but we will see about that. Usually software developers create their own problems to solve that AI won't solve, maybe. We will see. And regarding the education, I think it's important to note that we are sitting here, we are kind of a bubble. We live in this topic, but there are people that don't even know what fiat currency is, or don't even know what AI is yet, and they don't even care. And it's probably our mission to at least warn them that there is a risk of deep fakes and such things, because they are becoming almost indistinguishable from real pictures, videos, and so on. So yes, this is also definitely a topic we should focus on. Okay, so thank you. And
I think this is very important, because this is the way how you can gain the trust of the wide public, and the way they don't expect, because sometimes they may expect that you will be another one putting air in a new bubble. But this is something, if you try and start with something protecting them or showing them new things, it's important. You wanted to add something, Piotr?
Yes, I fully agree that AI will reshape the financial market in near future, but not from the perspective that we can expect. I think it will focus on more efficient of providing the same services. It will not reshape the new business models. The business models will be the same. So we'll probably focus on using AI to make the process more efficient, based on more data, more valuable for the clients, but it will not create a new part of the financial market. For example, like digitalization, tokenization. This is the opportunity also for us for cooperation. We mentioned today the challenges of capital market in Slovakia and different countries in the region, in Poland as well. When you compare to Sweden, we are far, far away. And this is the kind of opportunity to also cover the green fields of the capital market using tokenization technology to, for example, issue the bonds that can be shared between the region and can invest the whole societies of the region, can invest in the creating a much more complex and competitive market when you compare to the Western countries. So I think that tokenization might create more noise on the market than we expect right now. And I think that so we can also elaborate how to cooperate also on this field.
Very interesting. Okay, we dealt with challenges or hopefully not the threats of regulation, then the technological approach, then what do you need or what do you expect from the market. Then there's a, well, if there's some kind of a supply, there is also the question of reward. You want something from politicians, let's say, from governments or regulators or authorities. What is, and this is maybe a question really for each one of you, what is something what fintech may give the society, include, and what you can offer to politicians, why it's worth for them to create you a friendly environment? Because if you start with educating people, well, I'm not sure if politicians are happy that you educate people sometimes, but okay, it's opportunity to increase efficiency, much better, maybe bring in some money, capital investments into economies, very good way. But what is in your way the reward of creating the friendly and inviting environment for fintech, for societies, and also for governments? Oh.
Okay. So I will continue. So we already benefit in Poland for support. For example, Ministry of Foreign Affairs supports a lot of our ideas to being present abroad, invite us to show the use cases, and also enhance our entrepreneurs to go abroad. So they already noticed that it's worth being supported. But from the perspective of the society, you know, we are, of course, entering digital era right now, but also we are challenging the demographic changes in the societies. So the societies are getting older and older in the whole region as well. And we need to address the needs of the future us. We will be old, and that opportunities that also efficient financial innovation offers is the comfort of using your own finance in a very complex and efficient way. Also investing your savings in the future. So the benefits for the society, it's not only GDP, but as well also going abroad, more export of financial services brings additional value for the whole economy, but also change the way how the society and people cooperate with, for example, even the state. In Poland, probably you know, we've got an application M-Citizen, M-Obywatel, that is already used by 17 million people in Poland, and it's access to almost all public services in one application, and you log there through your bank account. So this is the way how the financial market can also support the state in the development of digital sphere. So there's a lot of layers that state and financial market can cooperate. And of course, it's obvious, but it's worth also mention that financial market support the growth of the economy. So the banks really drive the development of the whole economy, providing money for different market players to develop their own businesses.
Thank you very much. Stefan, Rostislav, we haven't heard from you for a few minutes. What are your ideas to really, what are the opportunities for society which can be offered to governments?
So Stefan, let's you start and I will continue.
Sure, thank you. So we have to say that we cannot do much unless we have a sort of openness from the regulator. So one of the struggles in Moldova until a few years ago, let's say maybe until the pandemic, the fintech sector not just the fintech sector, but also the financial sector, the traditional one, saw lots of challenges in communication with the regulator. We have our history with money laundering, all kinds of stuff that happened for the financial sector from Moldova, which kind of put the regulator on a very kind of I don't know careful stance when it comes to innovation in the financial sector. So now we are seeing openness from the regulator, which boosts the fintech sector in Moldova. And we see a lot of publicity from international partners, including the USAID and including the European Union, to kind of ease the transition from the traditional financial services to the more innovative financial services, and also to help the population understand and gain trust in the new way of making transactions and the new way of interacting with the financial sector. I also have to say that the traditional financial sector in Moldova kind of opened their eyes to the potential of innovation. The largest bank we have in Moldova is very much at the forefront of accepting innovation in the financial kind of activity that they're making at the retail level, but also in the relationship with the corporate clients and so on. So in the last few years, since the pandemic, we are lucky to see more openness from the traditional banking sector. We are lucky to see more openness from the national bank. But we have to say that we still have some challenges, also regulatory challenges, but also challenges of adoption. One of the things that I see, and it's my personal opinion, maybe it's not the case, but the employees and the people who are already active in the financial sector, they're very comfortable working in the traditional sector, and they're not very much incentivized to switch their focus from the traditional financial sector to a potentially fintech solution or to a product that would challenge the status quo in Moldova. So the education was mentioned, I think, at the previous question, and I would like to address it a little bit because I think it's an important topic that we need to discuss in Moldova. And it's a topic that the regulators, but also the government should focus more when it comes to incentivizing the local people people with knowledge from finance and IT, to see the opportunity and the potential in fintech and to open them to the opportunity of why not disrupting the status quo of the financial sector in Moldova right now.
So I have two options, like first option, if we speak the situation we are, so the main challenges are dictated by the war. And here we have a couple things. Maybe it's not usual for developed and European fintech ecosystem and market. So it's business continuously. So how you will do business if you don't have electricity or internet? So this is like some things that sounds weird in our time, but when we touch it, we fully review our business contingency plan, and I think it's very useful and interesting thing that everybody should think about this, because sometimes we have some cataclysm or pandemics and it stresses too much, but when we rethink it at least one a year, it's help. So this is like first things. Second one, cybersecurity. We don't mention cybersecurity in this panel, but during the war, cyber is like another kind of battlefield. So having 200 cyber attacks per day, one of the top 10 banks, it started to be normal in Ukraine. And I think this is huge opportunity to use the situation to build based on even our ecosystem. We are open to any collaborations, sandbox for cybersecurity in financial sectors. So we invite everybody who want, to participate in this, because it will be unique opportunity to test your technology or your product in like real situation of the war, because the war didn't stop in all levels in Ukraine in this time. And third one, it's a huge challenge, it's human capital, because due to the war, we lost a lot of population in different sense of lost. So some of people die, some of people serving in the army, and some of people leave the country. So our challenge is how to, make these people back to the country, how to attract them again to the country. And we believe that, development of digital finance, new technology will support us in this. So it's, if you speak about the war situation, if you forget about the war and speak about challenges that we see at the market and face it, I will say about crypto. I'm not sure that MiCA will face all needs of EU market. So I think it will be MiCA 2.0. And if you speak about Ukraine, we have a lot of interest to this crypto and cryptocurrencies from the society. And I think we need to think about some transact or breach regulation to face it. Second one, it's we have too many regulators. So we as Ukraine have one regulator who are responsible for the whole financial market as Ministry of Finance. And in the war situation, the Ministry of Finance have 65% of banking sector, because Ministry of Finance are owner of government banks. So this is like make our situation a little bit unique. Second is National Bank of Ukraine, which care about all payments regulation, oversight regulation, etc. And third, Capital Commission, who should be responsible on the crypto. And this makes sometimes a little bit hard to sit everybody in the same table and discuss about one unique strategy. But sometimes it's good for fintech, because when the regulators are fighting, fintech market could developing between this discussion. So this is like about challenges that I see in the perspective of today's day, and I hope first block will finish it soon, which linked to the war, and we will jointly discuss how to make crypto legislation and crypto business models more applied, more transparent, and more useful in terms of AML accuracy.
Thank you very much.
One of the most important reasons why a government has to create a friendly environment for fintech is fintechs can help in strengthening the competitiveness of the companies, mostly in the SME sector, small and medium-sized enterprises. That's why we will introduce educational program for SMEs. But it's not about fintechs, because beauty salon, they doesn't care about fintech. They would like to, or a perfume web shop, they would like to strengthen the conversion. They can use microfactoring solutions, SME beyond banking solution, and so on and so on. And that's why it's important to educate them how to use fintech solutions. 80% of the small companies haven't heard about factoring or microfactoring at all. So this is important.
Thank you.
So what fintech can bring to government? Taxes.
What do you expect? Okay, thank you. Perfect.
Yeah, I agree. I'll be very concise, as I see we are maybe running out of time, especially taxes. In Czech Republic, sometimes it has took like 2 years to get a license. So some companies are like, sayonara, we are going to Estonia or to some offshore to do our business there or pay the taxes there. And what can fintechs bring to the society? I think That's also very clear, especially what we call the democratization of finance and financial inclusion, because historically, maybe it's been very hard to invest in stocks. Now you can buy fractional stocks on fintech applications. Do you want to invest in real estate? Sure, you can invest with just a couple of thousands of Czech crowns with the real estate crowdfunding. So it brings opportunities and democratization to this society.
Thank you very much. At this moment, I think it's time to thank you all, to FND for inspiration, to Branislav for a few challenges, to all you gentlemen here on the stage and online for the will to participate and to really great ideas, I think, and just wish you it will all work, and looking forward for the coming steps in 2 weeks and the coming time. And I'm just looking forward to the benefits and rewards as a part of the society. Thank you very much and wish you a great rest of the conference. Thank you.